Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available Christmas 2023, the album, Dad. Shimmy, shimmy. I didn't even shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy, AF. Rock on, gold. Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this, but do you really think that you can get this? At first you dissed us, now you want to kiss this. Tell him, girls. Too late, you misses. Because we need a man that's swift, quick, and clever. Ready at the drop of a dime to do whatever. Not trying to front or fake to save face. Because I'm with that day, anytime, any place. Tell him, Jay, you want this? How are you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. Oh, man, listen, I need some... To get your day started, you need some lip gloss. I need a little bit of lip gloss right here. I need some lip gloss and I need a Diet Coke because I am not feeling great today. I stayed up way too late last night watching TV shows. I watched last night, let's see. I got caught up on all my shows and then I watched some other shows as well. So I watched last night RuPaul's Drag Race Canada. Got caught up on that. And then I watch, well, should we just go into my shows? Oh, Peter keeps a list of shows. You know I do. It's called, right here, it's in my notes app, and it's called Weekly TV Shows. So these are the shows I've watched. Oh, I watched Welcome to Plathville last night. I was already caught up on Survivor and Amazing Race. Oh, Life After Lockup, the first episode of the new season of Life After Lockup came out. It's a lot of the same people that were just on the last season of Love After Lockup. And then the Golden Bachelor ended this week. Already watched Bachelor in Paradise. The season finale is next week. Already caught up on Below Deck Mediterranean, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Miami. Alex and I still have The Kardashians to watch and House of Villains from this week. 90 Day Fiancé comes out tomorrow. I'm already caught up on Dragula for this week. Finished RuPaul's Drag Race UK. The season finale was this week. And last night I watched RuPaul's Drag Race Canada. Then after I got done with RuPaul's Drag Race Canada, don't you love a good Diet Coke sitting on your front porch talking to your neighbors and stuff like that? My husband was just at this thing with my cousin, and so she just brought him home, and then we were outside and we were talking to our neighbors next door, and they were telling us about their trip that they went to Santa Fe and stuff like that. And we were talking a little neighborhood HOA drama and things like that. Since some of you ask about that, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're not going to really be talking about HOA drama. We're talking about things that are much deeper than that. But anyway, then after I got done watching that, I had started watching a documentary. So my cousin is like addicted to any documentary series that's about like religious cults or religiosity or whatever. So any kind of religious weirdness out there, she like is obsessed with those kind of TV shows and documentaries and stuff like that. So I tried to put on a nice shirt today. I was like, you know what? Listen, for the people, and don't call me people, I could put on a nice shirt on a Saturday afternoon. Don't I look so nice? Oh my God! Don't I look at like a dad, a suburban dad, like, you know, with his wife? I mean, until I open my mouth at like the flower market in the summer, and the farmers market in the summer. Anyway, so yeah, so my cousin had told me to watch this show called Love Has Won, and then a bunch of people on my vlog told me to watch it, and a bunch of people like on my other channels, this channel as well, they were like, you gotta watch Love Has Won about Amy Carlson. I didn't know Amy Carlson, I didn't know nothing about her. So I started watching this documentary the other night. Well, the problem was that I like had all my food out to eat when I started watching it, and in the first 5 minutes of the show, I said this on my video the other day, and somebody was like, yeah, they didn't even put a trigger warning. Well, the third episode, they did put a trigger warning, so I don't know about the first episode, I don't remember. But I'm like going in to watch this show while I'm sitting there eating, and I'm so hungry and all this kind of stuff, and the first thing they show is her mummified body in the bed, and I'm like, oh, this is so gross, I cannot be watching this while I'm eating, right? So I stopped watching it and watched a bunch of some other stuff. So anyway, last night, I finished it. It's 3 episodes. It's on the HBO Max. You guys, it is so good and so weirdly. So it's about this woman, and her name was Amy Carlson, and she believed, apparently they had like YouTube channels and all kinds of stuff, and she like some huge following at some point. They live streamed like for hours on end and all this kind of stuff. And she referred to herself as Mother God, okay? Where she felt like she was just like controlling the entire world, you know? Kind of like how Colleen Ballinger thinks that she runs the world. But anyway, so this woman, she called herself Mother God, okay? And then she always had a father god. And the father god was basically the dude that she was fucking. It's basically what it was, okay? It's whoever she was attracted to at the moment. That was who was father god. And then father god ended up being this Jason guy that it just was very bizarre. And she had left her kids and her family and everything to run all this. And they basically, it's just like a 24-hour party where they were smoking pot and drinking all the time and stuff like that. And anyway, I don't want to ruin it for you because it's very sad. But anyway, it's also very, very weird. And they even interview her kids at the end of it and stuff like that. So I watched that last night. And then I was like wide awake. I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch more stuff. So what should I watch? I was like, well, when in doubt, why not watch 1,000 Pound Sisters? You're trying to get through with that before the new season starts on December 12th, right? So last night, I finished season 2 and I started season 3, and I am well on my way into season 3. That is literally like a show that I thought I would not like, that I am easily obsessed with. And, you know, I talked on here the other day about how I've been thinking about making a video and kind of comparing. I think a lot of people misunderstood what I was saying. I have no plans to go in. And I said I was going to do a video and I was going to kind of compare like Chantel, Photo Beauty, Amberlynn Reid, Amy Slayton, like channels like that, like from the past, right? That I've been thinking about doing that. And there were a couple people that reached out to me, emails and DMs, and were like, you need to be very, very careful with covering Foodie Beauty, and you need to know all this about her, and you need to know all that about her, and stuff like that. Listen, Linda, there are entire channels that are dedicated to covering Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty. If I were to do a video today, and I'm fully aware of this because I've done this in the past, I used to cover Amberlynn Reid. Not on a regular basis, but I would do a video here and there. If I were to do a video today on Amberlynn Reid and something that she got herself into, which is basically like a daily event for Amberlynn Reid, you know, what would happen is the entire comment section, which probably 50% of those people would be people that are avid Amberlynn Reid watchers, would come over to my channel and they would say, well, you don't know this and you don't know that and whatever, and rightfully so, because I don't watch her regularly, right? There are channels that watch everything that she does and whatever, so I don't want to make a whole video about that. What I wanted to make a video about was talking about all these people saying that they were going to get reality shows, right? Because, like, that was something I had talked about back in the day, that Amberlynn Reid had hinted out for a very long time that people were coming to her for a reality show, and she never did it. I think twice she said that they were, like, it was, like, actually in the works kind of thing. But I'm sure I got that wrong, too. So I don't know. But at least once I know she did, but I think twice. And so, I kind of, it was around the same time that Amy Slayton and Tammy Slayton got 1,000 Pound Sisters on TLC. So I have to believe it was maybe TLC that reached out to Amberlynn Reid or whatever. But then Amberlynn came out and said something about the fact that she decided that she wasn't going to do the reality show or whatever. So I have to tell you, what is so attractive about 1,000 Pound Sisters is, and like I said, I used to cover Amy Slayton back in the day. I've talked about that. I talked about that on my reality TV channel and all this kind of stuff. This is why I'm watching all this reality TV, you know, it's for the reality, my new channel, Peter's Reality TV Recaps and Opinions, better known as, and that's my opinion with Peter Monn. But anyway, I used to cover Amy Slayton back in the day, you know? So I didn't really know what to expect going into that show. What I found was very surprising. It's very endearing, and Tammy and Amy's relationship is very real, even though at times, I mean, they're kind of like snarky to each other and stuff like that, but I have not cried consistently in a show in a very long time. Like, and to be honest with you, I was always much more interested in Amy than I was Tammy, because Amy had more of a presence on YouTube, so she was who I know and things like that. Tammy's story is just like, and her plight of losing weight, and like I said, I'm just going into season 3 right now. I know that, you know, she's lost a lot of weight and all that kind of stuff, but Tammy's story is just like so devastatingly sad, and she and Amy are so honest in it, you know, and like I just watched this episode where there was like an intervention, and for years people said that Amy and Tammy's brother Chris was the one that was putting Amy up to doing the YouTube videos and stuff like that and whatever. In retrospect, watching the show, I just don't think there's any truth to that whatsoever. I think anyway, it's just the whole family dynamics is interesting. It is interesting to me that Chris was never once in one episode in season 1 and season 2. Well, I think he was maybe in one episode. In season 2, all of a sudden, he's like, you know, the co-star of the show, and he's losing weight and getting his surgery going into season 3 and things like that. That is interesting to me. I'm like, was he a little jealous of Amy and Tammy getting all the center of attention and getting the weight loss surgery and all that kind of stuff? But I do think that, like, he's the only one that will say anything to Tammy. So anyway, this is for my reality TV channel. But they are so raw and authentic and vulnerable on that show, Amberlynn Reed could never. Chantel could never. I mean, they are real, right? Like, you might not like what they say. Like, Tammy is like, I've tried to lose weight, but it's hard. And then they're like coming at her about, you know, eating this and eating that. And she starts screaming and, you know, like, but it's very authentic. Like, I don't think Amberlynn Reed has the ability to show that vulnerability on camera. And I don't think Chantel does either. So, I don't know. And I just find myself like rooting for them the whole time. So, yeah, so anyway, Amy Slayton also has a new boo. Did you guys hear about this? She's been showing him all over TikTok. She's got a new boyfriend over there. So she's been showing him all over TikTok these days. People have been sending me that like crazy. So anyway, I watched a bunch of episodes of 1,000 Pound Sisters, and then I finally went to bed. I was like, you've got to go to bed, right? Now, I was going to take the whole weekend off. No, truly, I was. Yesterday, I filmed an hour and 45-minute vlog over my vlog channel. And I talked about some things that I'm going to talk about today. So, I was going to take the whole weekend off and just kind of like recenter myself and then get started back on Monday, like with the drama. The drama. But I think that I might just take tomorrow off, I don't know, and just relax and hang out with my husband and stuff like that. He's got stuff going on today, so I was like, well, I'll film some videos. He's actually, stuff going on means he's taking a nap with Boo Radley upstairs right now. So I was like, do you care if I film a video outside? And he was like, no, why would I care? So anyway, who is texting me? Let me get into this. Okay, so let me get into this. So I was like, okay, I think I need kind of a clearing of the, I need to just like sage my mind a little bit. Amy and Tammy were saging Amy's house last night before a baby was born. That whole scene to me, I just have to tell you, when Gage is born and she's holding him in the hospital and stuff like that, like, I mean, it would be really easy to pick it apart about how Amy says she wanted to have a baby when she was 5, and she's always been her dream since she was 5 and stuff like that. I mean, that speaks to so many deeper issues than that. But just to see her in the hospital, like, holding that child and stuff like that was just, like, it was really kind of, like, a very, like, endearing, sweet moment. The show is very sweet. I've tried to get people to watch it, and people are like, no, that's not really my thing. And I was like, well, I didn't think it was my thing either until I started watching it, you know? So, anyway, I was like, you know what, I need to sage my mind before Monday, okay? And then on Monday, we'll just hard-hitting drama all over again. But before Monday, I need to kind of like sage my mind, clear my mind out a little bit, and not talk so much about like the hardcore drama, you know? I know it probably doesn't seem this way, and I do a lot of it in a very joking, kind of funny way. But in all honesty, and this is why I'm so thankful for my other 6 channels, sometimes talking about this stuff, especially talking about the Colleen Ballinger or the James Charles stuff, it really takes a toll at some point, you know, like, it just is really, it's just a lot, like, it's just a lot to talk about and continue to cover on a regular basis. I think it's important to talk about. I will continue to talk about it as things come up. But, you know, like, from time to time, I need to take a little break from that, but I still like to film videos, so I don't want to take a break necessarily just, hey, I'm not going to film for a week, right? So I wanted to do something kind of fun and lighthearted today. So I put up on Instagram, hold on a second, let me pull up my Instagram. Well, first of all, I put up this little picture right here, this Christmas scene, and then I love all these pictures of, like, animals that live in, like, holes in trees and stuff like that. Oh, I love all that. Oh, look, what it was, okay, Dakota eating dessert up in here from, you guys know Dakota from TikTok. Hey, Dakota, how are you doing, girl? So, anyway, okay, so I put on here, how about an opinions video? Let me know what you want to know my opinion on. Anything goes, okay? So I went through here, and it's interesting because I got, like, a lot of questions about things that I've already talked about on here. Like, you know, like, people be like, do you think that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson's friendship is real? And I'm like, okay, I've talked about this like 9 million times. Do you think this? Do you think that? You know, and I'm like, I've talked about this in so many videos. Like, you know, people will be like, what do you think about Colleen Ballinger's comeback? I'm like, I literally have like 6 videos dedicated to that. So, you know, okay. So I skipped a lot of the questions that I got. And I also kind of wanted to keep it a little bit lighthearted today over here and just have some fun with all this kind of stuff. So, you want this? Yo, Janet, I'm about to get this. You want this? Do you guys remember that? Oh my god, that was one of my favorite videos back in the day when they were driving around in the I love Janet Jackson. I love Janet Jackson. Oh, that was something else I wanted to say, too, about these questions. Y'all asked me some stuff, and, like, y'all know, listen, I don't know a lot of these people that you ask me about, okay? So I have to like, or I don't know much about them, right? So I have to like Google them and be like, because I don't know if it's like, you know, Judy Smith that lives up the street, and maybe Judy Smith is like highly problematic, right? But I don't know that. Like all I know is that, you know, she makes a banger lemon loaf for the bake sale. You know, maybe that's all I know about her, okay? She can play a mean game of bingo. I mean, maybe that's all I know about Judy Smith, right? So I get in a video and somebody asks me about something about Judy Smith, and I'm like, oh, I love Judy Smith. Like, she makes a really good, you know, lemon loaf, and oh my God, she wins 3 games at bingo, and, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? And then I say that in a video because I don't know shit about Judy Smith. And then people are like, I can't believe you support Judy Smith. You're so problematic. I'm like, I don't even know Judy Smith that well, okay? I didn't know she was problematic. So a lot of people ask me about people that like I didn't even know anything about. So if I answer to that, and I don't know if they're problematic or not, and I'm not looking that deep into it, I'm just going to say I don't know them that well, okay? I don't claim them. Did y'all ever have an ex you didn't claim? Like, people be like, oh, you're so-and-so that dated. You're like, I don't claim that person. I dated them for 2 weeks, okay? It's not, listen, I dated them for 2 weeks. I know they're a train wreck, okay? Probably 10 of my ex-boyfriends are like, yep, I say that about you, because you were a train wreck back in the day, Peter. Okay, so I went through here. Weren't we all at one point or another? Weren't we all train wrecks? Okay, actually, I was watching that. Just tell me if anybody else felt this way. I was watching that Love Has Won, and there was a scene in it when Amy Carlson, she died when she was 45, so she was like 4 or 5 years younger than me, but in 1995, she's in a bar, which, okay, yeah, that would make sense. She would have been about, well, maybe it wouldn't have made sense, I don't know, but anyway, and she was singing that Jewel song that I love so much, you know, and you belong to me. Y'all know that song? Okay, I love that song so much. But I thought it was Jewel. I thought she straight up was Jewel in there. I was like, oh my God, is that Jewel? Why she had a Jewel concert? I did not get it. So anyway, but it wasn't Jewel. It was Amy Carlson. Oh, there's my mail guy. He is so nice. I love him so much. Oh my God, everybody is out. The mail guy's out. My neighbors across the street are putting their Christmas stuff. What are you doing putting those Christmas bows up over there? She can't hear me because the mail guy is there. What are you doing putting those Christmas bows up over there?
Oh my God, there's a million bugs in these plates.
Well, that's because you don't clean properly. Hey, I heard there's a spot opening up on that HOA board. Heard somebody's moving. She's just laughing because she's on the HOA board. I heard somebody's moving and there's a spot opening up on that HOA board. I'm filming right now, I can't say. Somebody that's in charge of finances. That's not something I want to...
Also, his condo's going to go up for sale, so tell Caroline.
Okay, my cousin wants to move in this neighborhood so bad. She goes, also. Sometime you gotta come over here and do a cameo.
Oh, yes, today.
She would like this for her. My cousin's so bad. She was just saying this in the driveway to my neighbor. She's like, I want to move in this neighborhood so bad, but Caroline has like a specific place she wants to be. She doesn't want to be on the lakes. She wants to be back up against the woods. And this guy that's moving is actually like up against the woods. And I totally forgot about that when I was talking to Caroline about it today. So, my cousin Caroline might be moving into my neighborhood. That would be so fun, isn't it? He's got a really nice condo, too. He's got a really nice condo, but a spot is opening up on the HOA board. He's like the financial treasurer person. I don't want that spot. Okay, so I put out this, what do you want my opinions on, okay? And I went through and I screenshot a bunch of opinions. I tried to pick the ones of things, and there's things in here about YouTubers, there's things in here about reality TV, there's things in here just about life. I tried to pick the ones that I haven't really answered about before. Or if I have, maybe my opinions have changed a little bit. So somebody said, okay, hold on a second. Let me get to the very first question, okay? I mean, like, here I just have to show you. I have, like, tons of these, okay? So I went through. So that's not, I mean, listen, Linda, that is not the amount that I got. You guys want to see all the questions I got? Hold on a second. Here's all the questions I got. So I had to go through all of those, and there's even more. Okay, so did I get any new ones just recently? Let's see. Okay, see, people ask me questions and I'm like, are you trying to trap me into saying something problematic? Listen, Linda, I'm not doing that, okay? At least I'm gonna try not to. Okay, hold on, where's it at? Okay, so somebody asked me, I'm like in my head, like, do I want to say something? I'm trying to be today, like, so non-problematic and but did y'all see this clip going around about Eugenia Cooney? When somebody comes into her live stream and their name is spelled a certain way, but they're just trying to actually get her to say something, okay? That's a deeply derogatory and offensive word, and she says it and they catch it on live stream. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Y'all are evil to the core. And then people are like, she's not that dumb, okay? Like, you know, she knows what she's saying when she says it. I mean, I saw the spelling of how that person spelled their name and everything. I mean, just by looking at it, you would know that somebody was trying to get you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. People in the comment sections when I saw it on Twitter were like, well, she's not the sharpest knife in the drawer and all this kind of stuff and whatever. And she lives online 24 hours a day. I don't know that much about Eugenia Cooney. The more I find out about her, the less I want to know about her, if you want to know the truth. Like, I said back in the day, like, I think that she seems like a really sweet, nice person. I think she does. But, like, you know, here's the thing. Like, she apparently came out and made some comment about her haters and all this kind of stuff. Let's just talk about Eugenia Cooney for a second, okay? Because I never do. And, you know, people are always like, what's your opinion on Eugenia Cooney, Eugenia Cooney? I don't really have much of an opinion about Eugenia Cooney. You know, people are like, do you think that she's a bad role model? I think that she... I think a lot of people, you know, I don't know what I think about that. I think that, you know, denial is not a river in Egypt. I think that you're dealing with some very serious stuff there, okay? And that people want to know all the time, like, why is YouTube not jumping in and doing something about this? And she's role modeling, you know, eating disorders. Let's just throw it all out there, say what it is. That she's role modeling eating disorders to people and things like that. The thing is this, is that if she were in videos and she was talking about, like, ways to, you know, be this or be that or whatever, right? Like, there's been websites out there that have been, like, taken down about stuff like that back in the day, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I think YouTube might step in to do something. But here's the thing. Like, when I was watching this Love Has Won last night, I mean, they had, like, a full YouTube channel that was live streaming 24 hours a day where they were talking about, they were telling people to drink this silver stuff, which is ultimately what killed this woman, along with alcoholism and liver failure and all this other kind of stuff, right? But, like, they're, like, doing drugs and drinking online on these live streams and stuff. Listen, I think people forget this sometimes. YouTube is not like 100 channels. YouTube is like 100 million billion channels, okay? Like, YouTube is not that in the mix of everything. That I think that they're going to step in and do something about Eugenia Cooney. I wish that there was some kind of, like, advisory board, you know? I think that they need to have, like, different communities of what YouTube is like and then have advisory boards over those different communities. The thing is this, is that the fact that Eugenia Cooney will never come out, like, she always says, like, you know, like, she'll be like, yeah, like, like, people say I was 5150 and I didn't do this or I didn't do that. I don't know. I don't watch her that closely to know, right? But the thing is that people, like, will say, like, oh, she came out and she addressed her haters and all this kind of stuff. Well, I do feel like there's a lot of, like, really nasty comments to her, or it's said in a really nasty way. But I've also read a lot of comments where people are, like, really concerned about her, you know? People are like, I'm really concerned about you, Eugenia, and things like that, right? And so I think it goes past that. I think that a lot of those channels get hate watched. Tammy and Amy Slayton talk a lot about that on their YouTube channel. Tammy Slayton talks a lot about that. Amy talks about since she lost weight and got healthy that she's getting less of that, which I thought was interesting. That she recognizes that not playing into all of that got her less hate on her YouTube channel. You know, and so they even talk about, like, having a virtual meet and greet and they can't control who's going to come in there and things like that, and so they don't know that the haters aren't going to come in there. It's very interesting when you watch it from that point of view of what they were aware of. So don't tell me Eugenia Cooney is not aware of it when Amy and Tammy Slayton from Dixon, Kentucky are aware of it, okay? Like, and no, I'm not doxing them. That's on the TV show. They talk about that town all the time. But, you know, like, they are, they're just fully, I think that Eugenia Cooney is fully aware of what she's doing. If she were really going to come out and address the haters, I think what she needs to do is come out and I'm just suggesting this, not demanding it. I don't even give a rat's ass, to be honest with you. I don't know the girl. I don't cover her. I don't watch her. But, like, come out and just say, like, no, I don't think I have an eating disorder or whatever. I don't. But the problem is this, is that I think that she knows that she does have a problem. And so for her to come out and say something in defense of that, and I don't know if she has or if she hasn't, but I don't think she has really addressed it that deeply. She knows that she's going to, either way, like, she's going to get tons of people that are going to come for her, right? So, I don't know. I just, like... The thing in situations like that makes me sad is, like, you know... I mean, I've had a lot of friends of mine that have eating disorders. You know, eating disorders are very serious mental health issues, right? And most of my friends that... The thing about it is, most of my friends that had eating disorders, and I've shared this about my husband as well, were very fully aware that they had eating disorders, right? Like, it wasn't like they were completely in denial. Like, they were in denial maybe about how bad it was, but they knew that they had eating disorders. In fact, some of them kind of like, if you've ever known somebody with an eating disorder, I'm not generalizing this, but I'm just talking about some of the people that I knew, they kind of like would make jokes about it, or, you know, like, kind of like pride themselves on it a little bit. But they were fully aware of it. And most of my friends that have gotten healthy had to do the work and look through that. What I've never understood about these channels, and I think that this is what's interesting about, like, Amy Slayton getting the TV show and stuff like that, is that if you are willing to turn your life into, like, something where you're getting healthy, okay? I don't know how Eugenia Cooney stands in a mirror and she thinks that she looks healthy. That's just my perspective, okay? But if you were willing to get healthy, show that journey on your YouTube channel, show what that looked like, instead of just sitting in a 4x6 bedroom, okay? And live streaming 24 hours a day, don't you want more for your life? I mean, like, even Tammy Slayton on the show, she's like, I want to get out of my house. I want to go do things, whatever. Don't you want more for your life? I mean, Eugenia Cooney is like 30 years old. You could show that whole journey. If Eugenia Cooney got healthy, okay, and turned this around and was a role model to people of getting healthy, instead of being accused of being a bad role model, if she was a good role model, the following that she would receive off of that, you know, if people are saying it's all about the money, it's all about this, whatever, but can you imagine the kind of money that she would make? She could write a book about that, talking about turning my life around. She could go places and speak about turning her life around. She's already got a platform, a huge platform. So people would live for that, right? So I'm not really sure why she does that, but the girl's wise enough not to get in a live stream. What I think a little bit is, I'm almost kind of wondering if there's not some kind of brand endorsement that's coming out with Eugenia Cooney. If it's like Eugenia Cooney and Jeffree Star are going to do something together, or Eugenia Cooney and some major brand are going to do something together, because, which will be interesting if that happens, because people will completely come for that brand. But it feels like Eugenia Cooney has been a lot in the drama news lately, and a lot of people are talking about her. To be honest with you, I don't find her that interesting. There's nothing about, I mean, I've watched like some of her live stream clips and stuff like that, and she literally just sits there and she like reads a comment, and the comment's like, it'll say like, she'll read it and it'll be like, oh, do you like oranges? Yeah, like I kind of like oranges. Flowers? I guess roses. I like teddy bears. I mean, who's watching that for 3 hours to see if she slips up and says something? Boring. I've got better things to do, okay? Like watch religious cult documentaries. So the first question that I got on here, let's get to the questions, okay? At almost a half an hour. What is your favorite Real Housewife group? Okay, so I guess you mean like, what is my favorite city of the franchise? I mean, I like a lot of them right now, right? I loved this season of, New York, the new cast. I love Salt Lake City. I'm living for Salt Lake City. I think this season's so good. And I have to tell you what's so interesting is, and people are going to ask me about Monica in here for a second, so I'll address her, but like I didn't like Angie at the beginning of the season, and I like really like have fallen in love with Angie. Like I really like her. Like I think she kind of had this transformation throughout the course of the show. Orange County, live for Orange County. Beverly Hills is my husband's favorite. It's not necessarily my favorite. And people ask me some questions about that, so I'll talk about that. And that was probably my most asked question, was about Kyle from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I got more questions about that on my list than anything else. So I'll talk about that in just a second. But hands down, my all-time favorite city of life is Atlanta. And I have to tell you, probably a close second, which I just started watching from season 1 all the way through, and I'm watching this season now, is Miami. Would probably be a close second. And then third would probably be Salt Lake City. Miami and Salt Lake City would be close tie for a second, but it's like here. Like Atlanta has always and always will be my number one, okay? And I think Sandra is really, Sandra, whatever her name is, I think she's really nice, okay? One more tagline about the Olympics, and I could, like, gag. My battery stopped. One more tagline about the Olympics and catch up with me and try to get my medal. Girl, I don't care, okay? Sandra, I called her. I was thinking of the Golden Bachelor. Sonia. I think she's very nice. I think her family's nice. Congratulations, you know. Oh, just hit the table. I need some more lip gloss. Congratulations, you know, on all that kind of stuff. But, like, I don't care about her. She's boring. And Drew Sidora. I mean, Drew Sidora's a liar. She's an absolute hands-down liar. She lied in the reunion. She lied on the show. She lied about everything. And I know that because, yeah, I ran into her at brunch. It was just my husband and I and her friend. So, yeah, I even did a whole video about that. So, Drew Sidora and I think Sonia are both kicked off the show, as the rumor mill's heard. And then they're saying that they're going to, like, revamp the whole show. And it's going to be, like, a whole different cast. Supposedly, like, Tamar Braxton's gonna maybe be on the show or something like that. Tamar Braxton, I watch her in this real life. Like, she makes for good television. I wouldn't mind Tamar Braxton or any of them Braxtons. What was that album back in the day by Toni Braxton that every drag queen in the entire world, if you're my age, you know what I'm talking about, okay? That every drag queen, when she had this real short hair, that album was, listen, okay? Listen, Linda, that album and the soundtrack to The Bodyguard, oh! You want to talk about the soundtrack of a generation, okay? Right there, those two albums. Oh my God. And Oleta Adams. Oh my God. I was listening to old Oleta Adams the other day about had to call you up on the phone. Do you remember that song? Oh my God, I love that song so much. But anyway, that was back in the day when we would go to drag shows. We'd all sit on the floor, you know, in the front row, and it'd be all of our friends performing. They would do ballads. We lived for the ballads. So anyway, but yeah, so, what was I saying about that? About Atlanta. So supposedly, they're going to, like, revamp the whole cast and kick everybody off. I don't know why we need to do that. We don't need to do that. We need to bring back Cynthia Bailey. We need to bring back Portia Williams. And I know that people are going to hate when I say this, but we need to bring back Nene Leakes, okay? We just do, because Nene Leakes makes for fantastic television. And rumors are that she apparently and Andy Cohen made up. People are like, oh, Bravo followed her again, and then people are saying that Bravo always followed Nene Leakes. I don't know about all that kind of stuff. But Nene and Marlo and Candy and Cynthia, who else am I forgetting? And all of them on the show, like, and Portia Williams, like, that's the cast we need on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You want to get the ratings? Bring those people on there. Are you producers of shows, or are you producers of integrity? Or actually what they are producers of marketing is what they are, because every one of these housewives now has some product they are trying to push, or some business that they are trying to throw some event for, and I'm real over it at this point. It's like everything. Like Meredith Marks, she's selling her jewelry. Lisa Barlow selling her vodka or tequila, and what's it called? Whitney Rose is selling her jewelry and crap and having sound bath. I mean, it's too much. Like, every single one of them is always selling something. I am so over it, okay? And speaking of this, can we just talk about the fact, like, somebody tweeted this out, I follow these Housewives accounts, and they're like, whose side are you on in Miami, Gertie or Larsa's? Are you kidding me? Is this even a real question? Okay, so Gertie has shared with a few people that she has cancer, okay? She asked Larsa not to tell anybody. Larsa was the first person that she told. Larsa went at her party and told all these people, right? Is this a question? If I were Gertie, I would never speak to her again. Ever, period, end of story, you know? And I was kind of hoping that Martina, at her cancer party, would find out about it, because I thought Martina would put Larsa in her place. Not to mention that Larsa and her boyfriend, what's his name, Malcolm, I don't know, they're going to both be on that TV show Traitors, which I live for, but Larsa, and it's Michael Jordan's son, and they're starting a podcast, and he's like, yeah, this is going to be a really good podcast, because we're going to talk about a relationship, and she's like, yeah, like, is the microphone on? See, I can say this about Larsa Pippen and Michael Jordan's son, but if I said it about Manny MUA and Laura Lee, people are like, you're making fun of them, you're mocking them. That's called super fandom right there, because y'all can handle it over Larsa Pippen, okay? But you can't handle it when I'm talking about one of your favorite YouTubers. Right there is a prime example of super fandom, okay? Because tell me I am wrong about this on The Real Housewives of Miami, okay? Larsa Pippen sitting there. I looked at my husband and I go, who is going to listen to this podcast? Nobody. Who would want to listen to these two fools talking about the relationship? I could care less about the relationship. I could care less about Larsa Pippen. I don't know why they ever brought her back on the show. She was boring the first time around, and she's boring now, okay? So anyway, let's go into this. Do you think Bravo knew to hire Monica for not paying Heather on pay before Heather knew. No, I do not think that. I think that is something that just came out. I think it is part of the ongoing battle of Monica and everybody on the thing. I'm not really sure what I think about the whole lawsuit thing. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Monica is one of the new cast members of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And so she apparently... Okay, so Heather Gay, who wrote the book Bad Mormon, who I've loved, but she is walking a very fine fence, okay? There's this whole butter churning thing that Heather put together, and Lisa was so nasty to Monica, and Lisa's nasty to everybody, and they take huge issues with it. Heather has taken huge issues with it. But when it was against Monica, and Monica stood up for herself, they all turned on Monica and were like, I don't know if there's something in the edit that we didn't see, but everybody was like, Monica, why are you acting that way? And I'm like, because Lisa's sitting over there on her high horse, acting like her shit don't stink, and y'all don't see it. Like, I really don't like Lisa this season, and I used to love Lisa. Baby Gorgeous can go. I don't like her. So anyway, I mean, no touch in reality whatsoever. She's like a step down from me, from Kathy Hilton. Like, she thinks she is so much grander than she is. So, I don't really understand why they're allowing all this kind of stuff with, like, people to just, like, all these girls to just, like, come for Monica. Do I think that Monica is very much like a Marlo from Atlanta? Absolutely, and I live for that. Because I wasn't able to stand up for myself for years on end, right? So when I see somebody do it, I live for it. Even if it's maybe not in the nicest way, there's a part of me that wishes I had an ounce of that confidence, you know? The reason they hired Monica is because Monica is not, and they're doing this on all the franchises if you guys haven't realized, okay? Monica isn't super, super wealthy. And, you know, like, she's struggling to get by and whatever. And so they're hiring more relatable housewives, like at least one in each season. So, I mean, not across the board, they haven't done it yet, but they've done it on a couple, you know, different ones to show that, like, to be a housewife, you don't have to be super rich, because I think that they were starting to lose favor with a lot of the audience. But then what happened was, like, Jeff Lewis came out and said, why is she on the show? Like, this is supposed to be rich housewives and stuff like that. I actually like that Monica is more relatable and she's sharing her story. So many people were coming for Monica because she was showing the scrapbook of her daughter's biological father and whatever, and people were saying that she saved that moment for television. She said on the clip that her daughter had seen those pictures many times before. She was just showing them to her in that moment. And I said that to my husband while we were watching the show. I said, did you hear that people were saying this about it? And Alex was like, I think this is a really sweet moment. Like, she's so relatable. Yeah, she kind of can be nasty sometimes, but I think we all can when our buttons are pushed. You know what I mean? I like Monica on the show, but no, I don't think they hired her because of the lawsuit, because I think the lawsuit came out way before that, or way after that. Mikayla Nogueira and her pathological lies. Well, I don't know if her lies are pathological, but I think Mikayla Nogueira, I don't get the hype of Mikayla Nogueira. Mikayla Nogueira kind of falls into the same category with me. You guys listen, my tripod, okay, my camera, you know the thing, okay, so if you don't know, if you don't have a camera like me, you wind it onto the top of your tripod or your ring light or whatever, right? So the thing inside my camera is so warped that now, so y'all are like literally, I just have to show you this, you're like sitting on top of this lantern, okay? It won't go on my tripod anymore, so I'm gonna have to get a new camera or something, I'm so over it. But anyway, Mikayla kind of fits into the same, and I got my Christmas and my horse bells behind me. Mikayla kind of fits in the same category to me as like David Dobrik and Mr. Beast and Jason Nash and all the, I don't get it. And then, oh, and Jake and Logan Paul, like, I don't get it. I don't get the attraction. I don't get the interest. I think they're vapid, superficial, and they have no depth. I don't understand that. That's my opinion on a public figure of how I feel about them. I've watched those videos, and I'm just like, y'all have millions of followers. Like, who's watching you? Is it the hype? Like, I don't understand. Do I think that Mikayla Nogueira does makeup well? I think she does makeup well for being self-taught. She's self-taught, and I think that's the attraction to a lot of people, is that she's self-taught. She was working at Ulta, you know, she's just a regular girl like everybody else out there, and all of a sudden she's living her dream life. I think that is more appealing to people than her doing great makeup and stuff like that. I honestly don't even really think that people care that much about it. I think what they see is and this is what is so interesting to me about the following of Mikayla Nogueira, is I think that her selling point is she's just an everyday girl that got famous on TikTok because she loves makeup and does makeup well, okay? And I do think she does makeup well for being self-taught. And so people are like, yeah, and she just like has all these opportunities, and so she's just like sitting there talking to my friend, and she's being honest with me about this makeup and what I should buy and what I should use. But the reality is she's not being honest. She's lying, she's not disclosing ads, she's all about the money, right? I don't have a problem with her being about the money. Just be honest about it. Just be honest and disclose appropriately and things like that, right? You're still going to make your money. With her following, well, first of all, I don't know how she gets away with it with these companies. I've never done a sponsorship where a company has asked me to hide a disclosure. In fact, they state it in the contract that you have to disclose per FTC. It's one of the reasons why they want to see your videos before it goes up. So I don't really understand how these companies are letting Mikayla get away with this, okay? Unless her following is so big that they won't tell her no because they're more concerned about the views that they're going to get on their product being reviewed than they are on following the law. But when these companies start getting hit, I think what's going to start happening is, yes, the TikTokers, the Instagrammers, and the YouTubers are going to start being hit by non-disclosure and affiliate ads and all that kind of stuff. But I think the companies are going to start being hit too. Do you guys hear this? Who is out here vacuuming their car? Come on now! Saturday afternoon! It's time to rest! We're making opinions video. I just noticed that like all of a sudden while I was talking, I was like, who's doing all that? But anyway, I think once the companies start getting hit, right? Like the companies start getting fined, you know, like these big companies, and that people are not disclosing about that. I think once they start getting hit with huge amounts of money and they stop giving their sponsorships to the people that don't disclose, then I think we'll see a switch in it. I think it's going to be a combination of those people being fined and that. And the other thing I also don't talk a lot about on here, I talk a lot about the fining when I talk about Manny MUA not disclosing, Laura Lee not disclosing, Tati Westbrook not disclosing, Jaclyn Hill not disclosing, Daniel Prada not disclosing, all these people that don't disclose. One of the things, I talk a lot about the fining and how much it could cost them, right? But I think even more important than that I don't talk about is the removal of their platforms. When they are not disclosing paid sponsorships on a YouTube, I mean, they could get in a lot of trouble for that. When they are not disclosing affiliate ads on Amazon, like they could, like that goes against terms of service. Like they could lose their platform of Amazon affiliate links when they're making a lot of money off that kind of stuff. When they're not showing affiliate links or sponsorships for other things, right? Like that could really greatly damage their ability to continue to do that in the future. So it's not necessarily just about money. If 30 or 40% of their income, and I have to believe with like Jaclyn Hill, it's more like 60% of her income, is coming from affiliate links and stuff like that. If you lose that source of income, you're screwed, you know? So, I don't know about Mikayla and her pathological lies. I don't know about all that. I think Mikayla has become a character that she believes in now. It's kind of like she can't differentiate. It's like when I was watching this documentary last night. It's like Amy Carlson, Mother God. Like I think that Mikayla kind of believes that she is the Mother God, you know, that she can do no wrong, and she's this big person on, you know, TikTok and things like that. So, I don't know. I think the next 5 years for Mikayla Nogueira will be interesting because I do think that there's going to be a huge shift in the makeup community and things like that. Somebody said Monica and Heather lawsuit. Oh, so this is what I was going to say. So the lawsuit is over. Apparently, Heather Gay owns Beauty Lab in Salt Lake City, which is like an aesthetics thing, like Botox and all kind of stuff. And apparently Monica didn't pay her bill. So Beauty Lab is suing Monica, okay? This is not on the show yet. It's just behind the scenes. Monica is countersuing Beauty Lab, Heather Gay's business, apparently for botched services or something like that. I don't know enough about the lawsuit to speak to it. Somebody asked me, gender reveal parties, are they getting out of hand? The correct answer is yes, LOL, they said. I'll tell you what I think 100% about gender reveal parties. I don't care. Have them all day long. Have 6-8 hour gender reveal parties. Just don't invite me, okay? Just don't invite me. My cousin Caroline, she sent me this TikTok last night. And it was about this woman, and she's talking about Christmas cards. Have you guys seen this TikTok? It's so hilarious. And she's like, don't send me a Christmas card because it's going to go right in the trash. I'm sorry. She's like, but it is. And you guys look so cute and together as a family with your matching sweaters. But like, if you send it to me, I'm like, look at it. I'm going to throw it in the trash. Please don't send it to me. It's a waste of paper. It's a waste of... Send me a digital copy. And she goes, actually, just... Don't say digital don't send me a digital copy. She goes, I'll see you around, we'll say hi. And she goes, I'll see ya. That's how I feel about gender reveal parties. Okay, don't invite me. I don't want to go. I don't care. Okay. Announce on the Facebook, get all the likes you want. I don't care. And I know people are, this is like a comment that people are going to like really be upset about. People don't like gender, don't invite me. Hey, have at it, okay? Have whatever you want to have, okay? Do whatever, have whatever kind of party you want to have, okay? I don't really care. Don't invite me to it. I don't want to go. And I don't want to go to a 2-year-old's birthday party at 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. That completely ruins my one day that I get to spend with my husband, okay? So please do not invite me to no toddlers' birthday parties on a Sunday afternoon. I don't want to go, okay? And none of them made up parties on Sunday afternoons either, right? People always want to do parties on Sunday and Saturday afternoons because they're like, well, that's the only time that people's off. No, that's the time people are off and they want to relax. People don't want to go to parties, made-up parties, okay? People don't want to go to made-up, like, funny, haha, Christmas, the Christmas sweater parties. Those are so boring anyway. Does anybody want to go to them Christmas sweater parties and, like, bring your favorite kind of cookie on at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon? Nobody wants to go to them parties, okay? They'd rather sit at home and we'll all just do, like, I don't know, a big... combo group chat FaceTime together, okay? Nobody wants to leave their house on a Saturday. Don't invite people to those parties, okay? You don't want to throw it. You're stressing out having to clean your house, okay? Half of you cleaned your house before you hired the cleaning person to come there and clean your house after you done cleaned the house already. Then you go to the Costco, you buy 15 dips, okay? Then you stop here at Crumble Cookies to go get your cookies or Dirty Dough cookies, and then you go here to get a pie and go here to get this, and then the decorations, and you're bitching and moaning to your friends, and you're on your phone going, I can't believe that I decided to throw this party. Why am I throwing this stupid party? Nobody wants to come and I don't even want to have it. And then everybody shows up and you're like, hi, how are you? Oh my God, this is so much fun. I'm so glad we're here. And everybody's thinking, I can't wait to get the fuck out of this party. And go home and binge watch Love Has Won about these religious freaks, okay? Why am I at this party? I don't want to be here. And on top of that, I had to buy an ugly ass Christmas sweater. Just don't do it. Just don't have the parties. It's pointless, okay? I know somebody out there is just wailing, just laughing, because they know it's the absolute fucking truth. Just don't do it. Just don't have the parties, okay? Or if you're going to have a party, send out an invite to everybody and say, what kind of party do you want me to have? Well, we all want to come in our pajamas, or we all want to come in sweats. We don't want to wear no Christmas sweaters. We don't want to bring gifts. We don't want to do none of that, okay? Ask people what they want to have at their party. You're having a party for people. Ask them what they want at their damn party that they're coming to. Don't invite me to no gender reveal parties. I don't care. I'll find out when you have the baby, okay? I'll find out. So that's when, I don't know. Somebody said, do you welcome fan art? Special hello for Mr. Boo Radley. All you guys are so sweet. Yes, I absolutely welcome fan art. And in fact, back in the day when Pee-Pee was alive and then when Pee-Pee got sick, we got so much fan art from people and we still have it all over the house. It's one of the greatest memories that I have. In fact, on our mantle, we have like a little, like, you know, shrine for PP and Tucker, and we have pictures of them up there that people sent us and stuff like that, and we have like a little placard that somebody sent us that's like a little, like, it looks like a little, you know, dog gravestone kind of thing, that we have that up on the mantle too and stuff like that. And I mean, all the stuff that people have sent me through the years, it's usually not fan art, it's dog art. And listen, I don't need, I've gotten quite a few pictures of myself. Somebody just sent me one the other day. And I love that, that's fine, right? But like, I don't know, like I'm not going to put up, I've got the one picture that somebody sent me because it's so different. It's like neon colors and I love it. They sent me that years ago. I have that on my mantle. But other than that, like if people want to draw something and send it to me, even if it's just a little picture or whatever, like, I've got some pictures that some people sent me a couple years ago that were like pencil drawings and stuff of Alex and I and the dogs, and like they mean so much to me, you know, because I don't know. So yeah, so absolutely. You guys, I don't think you have any idea how much it means to me when you guys send me those personal kind of things. I really appreciate it. Somebody said white or colorful Christmas lights. I like both. I used to, well, we have all white in our house right now. That's just because they came with the tree. I like colorful ones too. I like the old ones that kind of like, you know, they like bubble and stuff like that. I think those are so fun too. I like all kinds of Christmas lights. I like blue Christmas lights. Blue are so pretty, aren't they? Pink ones, I like blue better than pink, but Now it sounds like we're doing a gender reveal party. Is somebody having a gender reveal party, Christmas party, and then they plug in the Christmas tree and whatever color? That's corny. I know somebody's done that out there. Don't do. You're thinking it, but don't do it. It's a bad idea. Do you believe in your zodiac traits? I hope I worded that correctly. I don't know if it's called zodiac traits either. I'm Cancer. I do believe that I'm very much a Cancer. A lot of the, I'm also, well, whatever, something about the moon. But anyway, yes, I wouldn't say I 100% believe in the zodiac signs and all that kind of stuff, but there's so much about being a Cancer that fits me, about being sensitive, being emotional, being a homebody, being a mama's boy, all that kind of stuff, being kind of, an introvert, all that kind of stuff that's very fitting to me. So I do believe it when it comes to me. What are the best foods at the Chinese buffet? You know what is so interesting is I have not been to the Chinese buffet in a very, very long time. I can't even remember the last time that I went, honestly. Part of the problem is, as a vegetarian, there aren't tons of things to get at most Chinese buffets that are vegetarian. I actually think maybe the last time that I went was with Arlena when I did the video, which would have been after the Conspiracy Palette came out, because I gave her that whole collection when it was sent to me. So, and that was when I went to go visit Arlena, and we did a couple videos together. She's watched all my videos, or my channels for years. So, I think that might have been, she took me to this fantastic Chinese buffet. It was so good. It was huge. It was like 3 or 4 rows and stuff. And they had a lot of vegetarian stuff. Now, I will tell you a little trick, okay? Try this if you go to the Chinese buffet. White rice, and then you get the pot sticker sauce. It's kind of like that purplish sauce, and you put it over the white rice. My ex used to do that. It is so fantastic. I love it. Okay, Golden Bachelor Gary. So his name's Gary, but he spells it Jerry. I don't know what to think of him anymore. I mean, I read the whole Hollywood Reporter article the other day, and I was like, is Gary Jerry a total fraud? And I didn't know it. Like, I'm so confused. Do planes not know that I'm trying to film a video? The disrespect, I swear. That's where people are like, Peter gets so upset at the planes flying over his head. Like, does he think he runs the world? Hey, guess what? 1984 is looking for your sense of humor. You might want to go back and get it. But anyway, I don't really know what to think about Gary Jerry. A lot of people ask me questions about Gary Jerry. How long do I think that he and Teresa will last? I kind of, like, Teresa is very smart, right? I kind of want to know what Teresa thinks about this Hollywood Reporter article coming out and his interviews with the old girlfriends and things like that, and basically showing that Gary Jerry is a liar. I'm wondering if she's going to run for the hills. They seem very happy together. She seems sharper on the finale than she did through the entire season. I like Teresa. I like her a lot now. There are parts of the show that I didn't really like her. Leslie, I felt horrible for. I felt like, I thought she brought up some very valid points. She was like, why did you tell me all those things in the fantasy suites if you knew that you were... And he goes, well, that's how I felt at that moment. Basically said, he was in love with her, planning things for their future and whatever. Like, I feel at that point, he had to have known which way he was going to go, unless it was something that one of his daughters said. And so, I don't know. I feel like it kind of was something that his daughter said. I think they said to him, like, we like Teresa more than we like Leslie or something like that. I felt so bad for Leslie. I lived for the fact of when she said, when they showed it back and the whole audience screamed, and he said to her, she said, I'm always the one that never gets picked. And he goes, oh no, Leslie, oh no. Gary Jerry, come on now. Okay, with that whole act. That's what I think is, I think it's an act, right? I thought he was so nice for so long, but now this article comes out. I'll tell you who read that article, okay, were all the women that had been kicked off the show already. Did you see them in the audience, okay? They were not happy with Gary Jerry. So anyway, so, what is this video today? This is so stupid, isn't it? So anyway, but he says to her, oh, no, that's not true. No. And she goes, no offense, Gary, but I can feel any fucking way I want to feel. And the whole crowd goes crazy that Leslie said that. I lived for Leslie. I thought she was great. And I love when he apologized to her. That man says I'm sorry more times than he breathes in a minute. I mean, he is constantly saying he's sorry for something. And Leslie said to him on the live finale, she said, I hear what you're saying. I'm not sure I accept your apology, but I'll move on. And I thought that was fantastic. You don't have to accept somebody's apology at all. You don't. I think we live in a society where if somebody apologizes to us, we feel like we immediately need to accept that apology. I don't feel that way. I especially believe, like, when like, I've been in this position before in recovery where you want to make amends to somebody. I've gone to people and wanted to make amends to them in my past, right? And they'll say, right now is not a good time. Like, I'm not at a place where I can revisit this, relive this, or feel that, like, this really happened in early sobriety more, but, like, where people would say, like, I'm just not in a place where I can really hear this right now. I've also had people, you know, that have come to me and been like, and I actually did a whole video about this on my Peterson's channel, where people have come to me and said some things, you know, like, I always hear them with an open heart if they want to make amends or they want to make an apology. But, like, I've had friends of mine that are like, no, I'm not really willing to accept your amends right now. Like, I'm not in a place to do that. Like, I don't feel like I've witnessed enough change or growth from you. Not to me, to, like, other people in their life. But they'll say that to other people, like, you know, and they'll tell me, they're like, I just wasn't willing to accept this person's amends. Maybe 2 years down the road I'll feel differently. But right now, no, I haven't witnessed enough change and stuff. I think we're too quick to accept apologies. Okay, somebody said, what's your real opinion of your HOA board? Don't hold back. Okay, my real opinion of the HOA board, I don't really care. Like, I mean, it's my opinion, and I pay my dues, and I live in my neighborhood. I can have my opinion about my HOA board, right? And I don't think my opinion on video would surprise anybody in my neighborhood. I think everybody in my neighborhood knows exactly how I feel about it, just to make that 100% clear. All my neighbors, everybody I talk to at the pool, and I think it's a shared opinion, too, by many of the people. There's about 5 people, with the exception of my neighbor across the street, who have been on the HOA board for 20 years. Well, 20 years is pushing it, because I'm like the oldest. Other than her grandmother, I'm the person that's lived in here, my family. My mother moved in here in December of '94. So other than her grandmother, my mother was the person that, like, so this condo has been owned by the same family the longest. So most of the people have been in here, like the same 5 board members, with her exception, have been on the board for about 10, 15 years. There's also people that were ex-presidents, okay, that of like the neighborhood, the HOA board, that go to the meetings and they don't have voting power, but they are very influential on the decisions that are made in the community. So there's about 7, 8 people that are basically running this community and get to decide and make all the decisions. So, for example, if you're friends with one of those people and you want your 3-season room, okay, you're going to get your 3-season room. If you're not friends with them, like my neighbor across the street, and you don't know them very well, you're going to have to fight for your 3-seasons room with everything you have. And then she finally did. She got her 3-seasons room, right? But that happens with a lot of things in this neighborhood. That's why when we asked them to keep the pool open, they weren't going to keep the pool open any longer, because they don't care. But if I was sitting on that board, trust, that pool would have been open longer, okay? So it's stuff like that. You know, and my neighbor across the street, she's very, very sweet, but she's not confrontational. So she's like, I'm not getting into this with them about keeping the pool open. It's just, it's not, you know, she doesn't even want to be on the board. She's like, she almost quit. I was like, no, you got to stay on the board. We got to know what's the inside knowledge on this kind of stuff. And so, you know, it's very, like, this is going to sound so crazy, but like when you see, like, people send me TikToks all the time of the guy walking around the neighborhood from the HOA board. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, it's people that walk by. I don't get it as much anymore because we take such nice care of our place now. But back when, like, I would wait for her to weed because it would blow over here or whatever, like, the landscaping director would walk by and she'd be like, what are we going to do about that front walk? You know, I mean, that really did happen. And, like, that was really true stuff that happened, you know? Or they'd send out, like, letters to everybody's mailbox that, like, you know, by 2 p.m. tomorrow, you all need to have your patios power washed. And we're like, or you're going to be charged, like, $100. And we're like, what? Like, where are we going to get a power washer in the middle of the night to do? I mean, it was just insanity kind of stuff, right? So, that being said, the positives of it are that, I mean, there's so much that's included in the HOA. They take care of our yards, they do snow removal, they keep maintenance in the neighborhood. I mean, we have beautiful landscape in this neighborhood. They do all the tree pruning, not our walkways, but everything else they do. So, I mean, the fees that we pay are not just to live in here, it's maintenance on the condos. So everything outside on the condo, from the roof to the chimneys to the painting to the patios to the everything, is their responsibility. So that's all included in our, so like every couple of years, I think next summer is our year to get our condos painted. They change the painting. So like these over here are like gray and white, very Cape Codish, and you can see ours are not. So, yeah, I think they're going to go in and they're going to, like, re-side this kind of stuff over here, like this siding and all this kind of stuff. And they're going to, like, redo the siding how it is. And then I think they're going to make it more like what it is up there. But then I think they're gonna paint it, like, I don't know if you can see this if I show my camera out here. But this house way down here is like gray and white. I think we're gonna be blue and white. They're wanting to change them more into being like more Cape Cod-ish looking. So, yeah, I mean, I don't hate the HOA board. I don't listen to a lot of what they say. I follow the rules and I do what I'm supposed to do because it's easier to get along, you know, than it is to constantly fight and battle and stuff like that. But there's a lot of good that comes with it too. Am I almost at an hour already? Are you kidding me? Olives. Somebody asked me, Olive the Other Reindeer. Oh my God, I love that show so much. But olives, I love olives. I love stuffed olives. My husband and I are addicted to, I haven't got them in a while. Maybe I need to get some of those. Blue cheese stuffed olives and garlic stuffed olives. Let me stop this because I got 10 seconds left until the battery dies. Hold on. Okay. Opinions on paintings, photography, sculpture, etc. Love it, hate it, don't care. I love it. I love local artists. And I'm not just local to Indianapolis, but local when we go on vacation. I always love to buy a piece of artwork to have for our house as a memory. And my mother used to collect a lot of local artwork too, from in Chicago when my parents lived in Chicago, and Grand Rapids when my parents lived in Grand Rapids, and because that's where they lived originally, and then went to Chicago because my dad did his medical residency at Northwestern, and then in Indianapolis, a lot of local artists, art fairs, things like that. I still have that artwork to this day. Leah Remini being semi-shunned from Hollywood due to speaking on Scientology. I don't know anything about Leah Remini other than the fact that she does that People crossword show. I know she's big about the Scientology thing. That's probably one religious kind of thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really that interested in. I think it's really sad. And I know that they've really hurt a lot of people. I haven't watched a lot about it. People have recommended to me those shows. Maybe I will one of these days. I don't really know a whole lot about it, in all honesty. Crocs. I mean, what is the deal? So many people are obsessed with these Crocs. I had a pair that had that padding inside of them for the winter, and then y'all remember like a Peter Does Stuff video, I was walking through Richie Woods, and I like fell in the snow, and I had them, and they were soaking wet, and they never dried again. They were gross. I don't really think they're that comfortable. And Hey Dudes, which somebody asked me next, I am so like, this. Let me just tell you something. I will like be somewhere. Caroline and I were at the mall the other day, and there was this guy, and he was about my age, and he was so attractive, and he had on like a Patagonia coat, and like he had like a trucker hat on. I mean, yeah, we looked very similar, right? Which is probably why I found him attractive. But no, he was like a really attractive like older guy, right? And I was like, oh man, he's handsome, you know? And I looked down, and he's got them fucking Hey Dudes on, and I was like, seriously? Like, if I were single, I would not want those at the end of my bed, okay? Like, there is no way. There is no way. My friends and I back in the day, we would do, like, head-to-toe count, like, when you look at somebody. Don't tell me you guys don't do this stuff when you're checking somebody out to see if they're good-looking, right? Like, I always look at the eyes and the lips. Like, the lips are big for me, right? And then, like, the haircut, you know? And then I always look at, like, the shoes. Like, shoes are, like, big for me, right? And it kind of depends on the person and their style a little bit. But, Hey Dudes, listen. You ain't knocking boots with some no Hey Dudes, okay? You just aren't. Them Hey Dudes are ugly, and I don't have to worry about it because my husband will never be wearing them Hey Dudes. But I know people that love them. If I was sitting right here, like Tawny Jean would be getting so mad. She loves them. She's like, I have them in like 16 colors. She loves her Hey Dudes so much. I think it also drives me crazy. Like, I mean, if they were just called like, I don't even know, like, if they were just called something like, I don't know, some other, the fact that they're called Hey Dudes, like, I just, like, that is, like, nails on the chalkboard for me. Like, hey, can you pick me up a pair of Hey Dudes? Like, I'm like, that is so Indiana. It just drives me nuts. Kyle Richards and Morgan Wade. Okay, so there's this huge speculation that Kyle Richards is having an affair. Okay, this whole speculation about, I don't even know, I haven't kept up with any of the gossip in the news, but, like, Kyle Richards and Mauricio are separated, but they live in the same house. They take family trips together. Allegedly, people are saying that Mo cheated on Kyle Richards, and now she's allegedly having an affair with this. Is she a country music singer? Is she a rock star? I don't know who she is. Her name is Morgan Wade. I don't know nothing about her, okay? I know she's got a real deep accent and 1,000 tattoos is what I know about her, okay? I don't really know what to think about it. Like, it was interesting because we were watching it this week, and like, Kyle is so enamored of her. She's like, really? Really? I mean, it's like, it's kind of weird, but the thing is this. Oh my God, you guys, I had to go inside and get another battery because the battery died. I didn't realize I was that far along. Oh, this battery is like at the halfway mark too. Okay, well, we're gonna have to get this going. So, So Morgan Wade is apparently like sober in a 12-step program. Okay, now there's been some stuff that has come out, but I'm not going to speculate about that. Okay, so Alex was like, "Do you think that Kyle Richards could be like sober in a 12-step program too?" And that's how she. And I was like, "Well, that would make sense because their friendship is like when you're in recovery with somebody and you meet somebody, you like bond very quickly. Like I've shared this in a lot of videos. Like my husband will say about like friends that I make in recovery, he'll be like, you like guys are like, you know, like me and my friends will be talking about like, oh, I love this, you know, new jacket from, you know, Von Maur Macy's or whatever. He's like, if we talk for the first night, he goes, you and your friends, like you'll exchange phone numbers and like be talking later that night on the phone and you'll be like talking about deep childhood trauma. It's true. Like, I mean, it's kind of like the sinking ship theory, you know, that when you're going down in a sinking ship, you all like have a shared experience. So I don't know what I think about that relationship. I think we'll find out more. What's your opinion on tarot card readings and divination, fortune-telling tools? I love psychics. I love psychic mediums. I love going to them. Selling Sunset, I tried to watch. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. I think the show... I know people... God, I have friends of mine that live for Selling Sunset. I just couldn't get into it. Hi, Peter. I think you're awesome. Thoughts on standing up for yourself and being true to yourself? I don't want to get into a long thing about this, but I said a lot about this in my vlog that I did yesterday. You know... 2023 was me transitioning through this standing up for myself era, something I hadn't done for a long time, of, you know, whatever that meant for me. A lot of it was shouting into a camera, a lot of it was cussing, you know, not just, it's one thing to cuss, but it's another thing to cuss profusely, you know, shouting, getting very angry and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I had to go through that to get to the other side. I feel like going into 2024, I want to step into not a standing up for myself era, but just being the person that stands up for himself. You know, like, there's a lot of things that I've worked on in this past year. I've done inventory on, I've worked on in therapy and things like that. I want to step into that and be that person in 2024. I want to be a more confident person, a more secure person. I want to be a person that stands up for myself, not just an era of my life. And I want to role model that to other people, that this year for me was a transition period. You know, I want to be a healthier person. You know, I've lost this weight. I want to keep on losing weight. I want to get active. I want to be healthy. I want to be a healthy person, a person that's confident, a person that stands up for himself, a person that's secure, a person that knows that he is lovable, which is sometimes hard for me to say. I'm still working on that. You know, and I want to be able to be that person instead of being an era or transitioning into that. I think I had to go through that, and I think, like, I got a comment on my video a while ago, and this comment just stood out to me so much. It was like, I feel like, somebody said, I feel like we're witnessing a transformation of Peter, like, in real time in videos, and I really think that's what happened, and I'm grateful for you guys that stuck around, you know, and I'm hoping that, I mean, it's not January 1st, I'm hoping going forward from today that I am the person that is that person that doesn't, you know, and I think we are constantly evolving and growing, always, I believe that, but I don't think like it's an era anymore for me. I feel like it's just who I am, and that going forward, I don't need to shout it, and I don't need to read a million negative comments, and I don't need to decipher everything. I don't need to answer to everything. I don't need to respond to everything. I don't need to pick out every nasty comment. I need to go back to doing what I love to do, which is making fun videos over here, having deep discussions, or talking about whatever, you know, or, you know, doing an opinions video, and if things come up from time to time, I will address them, but that's not my plan going forward, to address it all the time. I don't need to do that, you know? But I think I needed to go through that to get to where I'm at today. And I'm a big believer in transformation and transition, you know? Somebody said, Trisha being pregnant with her son, Elvis. So, and then somebody else says, her naming her child Elvis, whether it's a son or daughter. Has Trisha come out and said it's a son? I don't know that she has. I don't know if if it's a son or daughter. I have no clue as of today. I didn't look into it or anything. I don't watch Trisha that closely anymore. I think the name Elvis is adorable, and I wish her the best and Moses on her pregnancy. And you know, there's a lot of things that people want to pick apart Trisha for and things like that, and have at it if that's your piece. And I've said my fair share about things with Trisha too. I'm not going to talk about people and their kids. I'm just not. This has been a dream of Trisha's for years and years and years, that she wanted to be a parent. And I'm happy for her that she's a parent. Congratulations, Trisha, and congratulations, Moses. I think the name Elvis is adorable, whether it's a boy or a girl. I think it's adorable. I love it, actually. And I think it's so fitting for who Trisha is as a person. So I love that. Are you going to listen to Rachel from Vanderpump Rules podcast in January? What would she talk about? Absolutely not. I have no interest. I am going to start watching Vanderpump Rules to get caught up with it, because I've never watched it consistently. So I'm going to start watching it from season 1. I know enough about it because my husband has watched it. What is going on with this car? I feel like there's so many noises in my neighborhood today. I have no interest in listen. First of all, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, and if I do, they're true crime podcasts. So is she doing a true crime podcast? Because that would be the only reason that I would listen to her. Okay. And I definitely am not listening to Larsa Pippen's podcast. I could care less. The Kyle and Mauricio and Morgan situation. I think the Kyle and Mauricio situation is just sad, okay? I love them as a couple. I think something definitely happened there. I don't know what. It breaks my heart. It makes me sad. I hope they can work through it. How long do you think that The Bachelor, Gary and Teresa will last? I have a feeling, I don't know, it's going to be interesting if like more of this stuff comes out about Gary Jerry and Teresa, like what she does with that. I think she might postpone the wedding, except for that they already have a date and it's going to be live streamed. The Garden show, oh my god, I lived for that show, but can we just talk about why it ended like so abruptly? Like it just literally just ended with him fishing in a stream. And I'm like, I think production was kicked off the farm is what happened. I think production was kicked off the farm. I think something huge happened with that farm, and they had to stop production and stop filming because it just ended and it just didn't even make any sense. What is your opinion on the YouTuber HRH collection? I don't watch her enough. I just saw some TikTok that somebody put up about her complaining about... Okay, is she trolling or is it for real? Because if she's not trolling, she's probably one of the most problematic people I have ever witnessed on any social media platform. I'm very confused. So I don't follow her closely. That's all I know about her is the stuff that I see that people say. Oh my god, so many people ask me about Golden Bachelor finale. I'm so mad. Gary Jerry did Leslie so dirty. I mean, he had to pick one of them. I mean, that's the game of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, right? But I think the way that he did it was slimy. Opinion on Sister Wives. Getting ready to start watching it, and I'm going to watch all the season and get caught up before it starts again next year. It's currently on right now. How to check in on newly-ish sober friends about sobriety in a non-invasive, supportive way. I think listen, I'm always somebody that just believes in leading with honesty, right? Go to your friend and say, hey, listen, I don't want to be invasive, and I want to be supportive, and I just want to check in on you. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what language to speak to you. I don't want it to come across as if I'm being invasive or whatever, and I think there's no shame in that whatsoever. Just, tell your truth. I think your friend will respond better to that. I think that real knows real, and I think if you respond to somebody with your truth, and you say, hey, I really don't know what to say. I remember when my mom passed away, this coworker of mine that I used to work with, she sent me this card, or she sent it to me on the phone, or something. I can't remember now, it's been so long, but she said, I never know what to say, I think it was a card, and she said, I never know what to say in situations like this, so just know that I love you, and if you need anything, I'm here for you. And I thought, that's just such a great response. Like, I want to remember that in the future, like, when people have people that pass in their lives, because you never do know what to say. Like, when people say, like, I think we just never know really what to say in those situations. It's hard, right? There's never really anything right to say in that situation. Secret Santas. Okay, here's my thing with Secret Santas. I love Secret Santas. I think our family is doing it this year. I think my in-laws are doing it. I love the idea of Secret Santas, okay? Well, we're doing, really, just pick one person. Alex just told me we're doing it for, a couple's dinner that we're going to, too. But here's the thing. Back in the day when you would do it over, a week or 2 weeks period, and you're supposed to bring something a little bit every day, they're supposed to figure out who it was. I always went to such lengths, okay? Found that person's favorite candy, found that person's favorite this, found that person's favorite that, wrote little notes, tricked them, did this, did that, right? And I, literally would get nothing for 2 weeks, and then the last day would get, some stinky musk candle from the Dollar General. And I'm like, seriously? And I went to all these lengths. I mean, I still had fun doing it, right? But I love the idea of Secret Santa. I love anything that makes anything more fun in life. Why wouldn't you, What's your favorite and least favorite of the Real Housewives and why? Okay, my favorite of all the Housewives, it's not going to be a popular opinion. My favorite of all the Housewives is Marlo Hampton. I am a ride or die from Marlo Hampton. I know that she's not always the nicest person in the entire world, but which housewife is? I feel for her because people are constantly throwing up stuff from her past that she can't change, you know, and that she, like, these things that she did before she changed her life, like going to jail and whatever. I think I relate to it a little bit of, like, getting sober. I also kind of, like, relate to her because she sometimes just doesn't know when to shut her mouth. But I see her trying to change and evolve over time. I think, you know, like, I've just witnessed a lot of that from her. I just like Marlo. I don't know why. I think the fact that she named her business as business and she didn't even get the spelling of it right, like, kind of, but she keeps it, just cracks me up so much. I don't know. I like La Archive when it's supposed to be La Archive. I don't know. There's just something about her that I like. I like Heather Gay a lot. She's kind of problematic this season, though, on there. I wouldn't say she's one of my favorites. One of my least favorites, Sonia Morgan. I don't know why. I've never liked Sonia Morgan. It's not for any one reason. She just is like, she just bugs me. I don't know why. A lot of the Real Housewives in New York, the old cast, I didn't really love them a lot. Kyle Richards actually is probably one of my favorites I've liked. Somebody asked me about Lisa Rinna, what I think about here. I think Lisa Rinna made for fantastic television. I think Ramona Singer makes for fantastic television. I think Portia Williams makes for fantastic television. I think Kenya Moore makes for fantastic television. Marlo Hampton, fantastic television. Nene Leakes, fantastic television. Vicki Gunvalson is supposedly coming back to Orange County. Do we need her? I don't think so. I think she's so, like, I don't know. Tamara, I have to say, is probably one of my least favorite housewives. And I wouldn't have said that 3-4 years ago, you know? But when she came back, I just was like, you were so nasty and mean to your friend, and you were so problematic this season. I can't with it. Your thoughts on Alex's new car. So my husband got a hardtop black Jeep 2024 versus a soft top black Jeep, okay? It's not really a whole lot different. It's quieter inside, and he's got a huge, like, screen thing, and it's the same price, so good for him, but, I mean, it looks like the exact same car to me, except it's hardtop instead of soft top. It's really nice, though. What is your opinion on Lisa Rinna? Somebody said, I love her, but others seem to disagree. I mean, she can be pretty problematic. Dragula, I am living for Dragula this season. I love it so much. There's just a good amount of drama mixed with camaraderie. And so I really, really like it. I think there is, like, really good drag on this. I wouldn't say I think it's the best best season of Dragula as far as the looks, but I think there's a lot of really good looks on there. That one guy that's from Argentina, he is fantastic. Oh God, there's just so, Neela Helahu or whatever, love her. I think she's fantastic. Throb, I don't know his name, fantastic. What's the other one that's from Houston, Texas? I really like her too. She's really good. Fantasia, I love. I mean, I love them all. There's something about Dragula that is different than RuPaul's Drag Race. Do you notice that? Do you guys ever notice that the Boulet brothers get, like, they get in on RuPaul's Drag Race a lot? But there's just something that's so much more endearing to me about it. Like, that I don't know, they just, like, show more of an emotional side of themselves sometimes. I love it. And I also think that Dragula is more like, RuPaul's Drag Race is like star kind of stuff, but like Dragula is more like people that are working in town bars and stuff like that. I feel like it's what I know drag to be about and all that kind of stuff. Mikayla supporting James Charles makeup on TikTok, but not Jeffree Star's. There is a huge division right now of people that support James Charles and people that support Jeffree Star and the side. I mean, it's like Dramageddon of 2016, and I don't think people even realize that it's going on. Morgan Adams, Morgan Adams, I don't have any issues with. People say she supports Shane Dawson and that he's so problematic, so they give her a hard time for that. I don't know. Sick people coming to family events and getting everyone else sick. Stay at home. Just stay at home, okay? Don't get everybody else sick. Starting a YouTube channel. Start one right now if you want to. Would you write a memoir? I thought about it years ago. I actually started one about me being in treatment. Never finished it. Also started one about my mother and I's addictions together called Pretty Drinker. Never finished it. Kyle's sobriety being questioned on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I thought Faye Resnick said it best when Faye Resnick said this week, she's the one getting the healthiest and everybody's criticizing her. I think that's really interesting. When people are trying to change and grow and evolve and become healthier people, that people take issue with that. It's almost like we want people to be sick sometimes, you know? I want people to be well. I want people to be, you know, healthier and good and live their best lives. And I want that for you too. Thank you guys so much for, if you can see I'm trying to speed up the questions because the battery is flashing at me. So anyway, another battery bites the dust. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the questions. I had a really fun time doing this video today. It was really, really long. I love you guys, and I'll probably see you on Monday. Bye.